opportunity for me to utilize my new little sketchbook, collage sketchbook, if you will. I will probably start on this nice fresh sheet that has no debris from its origins of being a little children's book. I am prepping for a collage workshop at Remainders in Pasadena, California. If you're in the area, you want to sign up for that class. It's going to be a text and transparencies class. So we're going to be using text, we're going to be making transparencies, and it's a lot of fun on a Thursday night, July 2nd. We meet for about 2 hours and we would get to meet, we would be able to get acquainted as I conduct the class, give demos, and feedback throughout the course. So I'll leave a link to Remainders in the description. But while I was searching to make my packets for my participants, I came across images that I fell in love with and said, well, I want to make something out of these. And I will. Kind of equate it to when a musician is writing music, when music and lyrics come together, it feels perfect and you know it's right. That's kind of how I feel about collage making. I am using this as my focal point because I have doubles, and doubles are wonderful if you can come across them. I always hang on to them. You can really play with surrealism and pattern. There is so many options. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is just get rid of the extraneous stuff and also make a decision. Which side would I like to use? And although you probably can't tell on camera, these two ads are made of different paper. This paper is a bit more on the flimsy side, while this is a little tougher. I think they just came from different magazines. The other decision I need to make is, well, which side do I wish to work with? Because they can't go side by side if I use one side. Something's going to have to go. That's when I usually do the upside down thing. Also, what's interesting is she's holding something, and I may want to play with that either in this collage or in another one with the same image, and I'll need to keep them together. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that. I also have a pair of fussy cut legs. Even the heels were fussy cut, though. This one's a little seen better days. I may possibly incorporate it in this collage. I said this was going to be a mixed media sketchbook, possibly. Well, for mixed media here, I got this napkin from this restaurant I went to in downtown San Diego called Morning Glory. It is like an Instagrammable place. It was really fun. So if you are in the downtown area, I'll put a link to Morning Glory also in the description. I loved the napkins. I grabbed the napkins and said, I can see this in a collage. Is it going to make it in today's collage? I'm not sure. Also, I like throwing in a little vintage. You got a little blueprint going on, some food. I think I may just use that part. I also grabbed this text. I think this would correspond well with where we're headed. I love this heart made of glass candle holders. This has a nice Rocky Horror vibe to it. Got it from a New Yorker magazine. This is from my antique catalog. Got that, really cheap, I think, at a yard sale or a book sale. A couple pieces of pattern that correspond color-wise. This reminds me of a cyanotype. I think that may be exactly what it is. National Geographic, you can never go wrong, even on the other side. So I'm not sure which one I like. A word to my participants in workshops: when I create the packets for you, look on both sides, because I'm not sure which image you may love best or which image I fell in love with. I think I fell in love with this because it's so unique, but you can't go wrong with this one either. This is also from the same National Geographic. I love it so much. I always try to incorporate some floral and fauna in all of my pieces. And this one was about hummingbirds, but I just love the way this water fell and it being its own image. You cut this out and it looks like something completely unique unto itself. So we got our sketchbook ready. I think we're going to work on this page. I think it may be too small for what I want to do, but I'm going to make that attempt, and we can't attempt anything unless we get to work. Both of these images cannot make it on one page of this little book. So I believe since these images are so closely related, they are the same image, they can go side by side on opposite pages of the sketchbook. If I want to, I could even take it into the next pages. I'm wondering if something like this might work, might be interesting. So what I'm thinking again is each page supporting these images. And then the image can be a standalone, or it can be related. It really doesn't matter. I'll see what I come up with. That's 99% of the fun of collage making, is changing your mind and taking other directions. So our friend here is holding a makeup remover pad. I'm thinking about giving her a flower instead. This flower takes up a lot of space though. I could cut out some of the petals, or I could just find a smaller flower. I may not use these flowers. I was just playing with them, but now they're nice and fussy cut, so I can do something with them later. This is more of a focal point because she's not really holding anything. I don't know. I think I want to do it this way. The first image here and the second image here. I also found when I was searching for these flowers, I have a folder where I keep extra ephemera. When I do like a fussy cut such as this, I put it into a plastic sleeve in a folder, and I go through it when I'm trying to find something later if it doesn't make the cut into a collage. And I found this interesting, well, blueprint, I guess is what it is, even though it's kind of yellow. And that will correspond with the other blueprint I was thinking of using, just to give it a little bit of a switch up. I'm thinking this actually. I'm thinking as I go, as you can tell. I believe we're going to be abandoning the flowers. So maybe something along those lines. There was also this, which was beautiful, but just because it's beautiful and you choose it doesn't mean you have to use it in your final collage. I like these patterns. Might be a nice something to offset it. I don't think he's going to make it in. Supposedly a glass of President Garfield. Isn't that crazy? The lips, I don't know. Because they're twins, so to speak, I may need to find identical images or something that's going to balance it. This is more fraternal because it's not an identical image, but they have interesting patterns going on. So I may need to go dive into my stash of ephemera and figure that out. Do I want to use I think I'm moving away towards, I really love this. It's a heart, so I could cut it in half. Oh, it seems so mean. And I do like this text, and maybe solo can go up in one corner and axe can go down in another corner. I can do that right now. Okay, I'm gonna continue on here and figure out what I want to do with these young ladies, or young lady. It's really the same person, but now we're dealing with two. Let's get back to work. pages 2 and 3, well, pages 1 and 2 of this sketchbook done. Reminder, we skipped on the inner pages just because I felt like it. So I used that napkin, which is great. I love how that came out, playing around with that and mixing it up with the blueprint. Really nice, nice look to it. Did a little bit of transparency action here. I want to point out here. This transparency had some gauzy paper residue left over that didn't quite come out when I was creating it with the packing tape. And by accident, I used Mod Podge to adhere this transparency to the collage. And I usually advise against that because this happens. It kind of creates a cloudy look that I'm not crazy about. That's why I prefer gel medium. This one up here, I used gel medium, and there is a bit of cloudiness up here too. There could have been some Mod Podge. But for the most part, the gel medium is what I recommend when you are adhering transparencies to a collage. Nothing wrong with Mod Podge, but you do run into this problem. I don't know what happened here. So that's just one of the things that can occur, and this is why we have sketchbooks, so we can make little errors and play and have a good time. In regards to a good time, yes, I had a great time actually with this collage, or collages. There's 2 of them. Did them at the same time. That's always fun to do. I think I like this one best. I originally wanted to put solo on here and then axe on the bottom here, and I just didn't care for the balance. So I just went ahead and used the text on that napkin. What a time to be alive. Indeed. I like this best. This to me feels like it's a standalone. It works well. I do have some craftsmanship issues with the glue. That's just me. I'm being picky. I'm just actually going to add a little bit more under this ear here. And we obviously took our model and we really took away from her. I took out the hands that I originally wanted to use to hold the flowers and removed the hair and kept it really, really simple. The other thing too is there's some white space here. Does that bug me? Not entirely, but like I said, I prefer this collage to this one. And it is all in an exercise, and that is why I have this little book and this channel to share with you all of my adventures in collaging. I hope you enjoyed the adventure. I hope you picked up some tips and tricks on how to make your own collages. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.